Sir, in the jail, are you Terrell Williams?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Do it again next Tuesday.
All right, so we're on the record in docket 22-03000. People of the state of Michigan versus Terrell Williams. Will the parties please introduce themselves to the record?
Jeff Brodowitz on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. May it please the court, Deputy Chief Public Defender Steve Cornish on behalf of Terrell Williams, who is appearing via Zoom from the county jail.
And sir, you are Terrell L. Williams?
Yes, sir.
All right, and you can hear me all right, Mr. Williams?
Yes, sir.
All right, this is the time set for a probable cause conference. Mr. Brodowitz, how are we proceeding today?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, after conversations with the defense, I believe we're going to be leaving this set for preliminary exam.
Okay, so leave for prelim. And that is next week, May 4th, correct? Actually, that's not next. I've got it for May 4th, 2023.
That's next week, Judge.
Yes, sir. At 8. All right, so you have the prelim date, Mr. Brodowitz and Mr. Cornish.
Yes, Your Honor.
I do have the prelim date, Your Honor. I did have a conversation with the prosecutor this morning. He's going to look into some stuff that I discussed with him, but he'll update me next week.
All right, so there may be some discovery issues still out there.
No, I have received the discovery. There was some stuff on my end that I was sending to him.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. Mr. Williams, may I inquire your client of the date? Mr. Cornish?
Yeah, absolutely, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, so Mr. Williams, do you understand we're leaving your preliminary examination on for May 4th, 2023 at 8:30? You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, if you have any questions, please keep in contact with your public defender, Mr. Cornish. Anything else on the record in docket 22-03000? Mr. Brodowitz?
Nothing from the people. Your
Anything
Honor.
else, Mr. Cornish?
Nothing from the defense, Mr. Williams. I'll be out to see you again next week for the prelim. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're all set, Mr. Williams. Who's on from the AG's office on the Barterville case?
Yes.
All right.
That would be.
That would be so you're the prosecutor
I'm the prosecutor.
and this,
I'm General Counsel for the Michigan Department of Treasury, Your Honor.
okay. And then who's the defense on that?
Stephen Milks.
All right. So,
So we have spoken and I think we're in agreement to adjourn. I just am waiting and we have some orders we want to.
right. And I think I signed all those. Those are disclosure orders.
Yeah, I have one more
Okay.
that to sign and then Treasury filed a motion so we can release that information.
All right. Yeah, that's my understanding is I had to sign orders so that you could give information to the defense attorney so they could zealously advocate for their client on some
Yes,
level.
Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes.
So once Mr. Milks gets here, well, let's put it all on the record.
Okay,
Okay.
sounds great.
I thought or be replaced by Mr. Coward, I guess, or
Gaston.
Mr. Williams, you're all set. So you're all set today for today's hearing.
So what I do? Ready to turn anything off or anything?
You can just, I think you can just leave.
just every once in a while, people call over to make sure that they know you're there. I don't ask for it, I'll usually ask who you are to see them, so.
Good morning, Your Honor. I believe Mr. Gaskin has joined us from the Ingham County Jail. May I just have a breakout room with him briefly?
Sure, let me, so is that in, sir, you're Mr. Gaskin, Mr. Duval Gaskin?
Yes, sir.
All right, I just want to make sure I know who I'm putting in the breakout room. So I'm gonna put yourself and your public defender, Jacob Starks, in a breakout room.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Hall, how are you?
Doing well, Judge. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you and congratulations.
Thank you.
I heard your voice
although
and I got flashbacks.
sorry about that. Yeah, that was about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah,
Well, it's good to see you. Are you here on Mr. Brown, Tyrese Brown?
I am, Judge.
All right, and is he joining us by Zoom today?
I believe he is. I'm not sure if it's the gentleman that's having audio trouble.
All right, that's what I wanted to ask you, because we don't know who that is, but right now we can't connect with him. So so we'll if there's any way you can email him or text him, but at some point in time he's going to figure out that he's not connected to audio and he can't hear us and we can't hear him.
Okay, I'll try to get a hold of him.
All right.
Looks like it might be connected now.
All right, let me ask.
It's not.
Oh, it's not.
Okay.
We still don't have him connected to audio. We'll prompt him in just a second because we have some time. Sir, on the jail tablet, would you please identify yourself? From the jail, would you please identify yourself?
Daniel Austin.
Okay, yeah.
Daniel Austin.
It's Mr. Goodrich's clerk.
All right.
Daniel Austin.
All right, thank you. Sir, on the Kativa's tab A7 moniker, would you identify yourself?
Maurice.
Sir,
Third.
you're gonna say your name again?
Maurice Bill the third.
How do you spell your first name, sir?
Maurice.
Okay, Maurice Bell. All right. Stand by. You're in the right courtroom. You're here for your 8:30 probable cause conference.
Yes, sir.
All right, stand by.
I have not had a chance.
All right, so we're on the record in docket 22-03570. That's People of the State of Michigan versus Ori Nicholas Fedwa. Will the parties please introduce themselves to the record?
Jeff Brodowitz on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Nicole Samuel on behalf of the defendant.
And sir, you are Ori Nicholas Fedwa?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is the time set for a probable cause conference. Mr. Brodowitz, how are we proceeding?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, I believe after conversations with the defense, people have made an offer for the defendant to plea as charged with restitution for the cut tether. And I believe at this time, based on discussions, that we have agreed to an unconditional waiver of the preliminary exam. The people waive theirs as well. The people would ask you to bind this over to circuit court as charged with further negotiations to continue in circuit court.
All right. Ms. Samuel, is that your understanding of what we're doing today? Your client is going to unconditionally waive and negotiations are to continue in circuit court.
Yes, Your Honor.
May I inquire of your client of his waiver of the preliminary examination?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Fedwa, you understand that you have the right to a preliminary examination within 14 days of your date of arraignment.
Yes, sir.
Actually, it's 21 days of your date of arraignment. It used to be 14 days. A preliminary examination is a probable cause hearing in which the people would have to prove by probable cause evidence that a crime has been committed and the identity of the person who committed that crime. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes,
And you of course are represented by Attorney Nicole Samuel, and she would be present to contest any charges and cross-examining any witnesses brought against you. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's my understanding today you wish to waive your right to preliminary examination. You've heard the lawyers speak concerning the negotiations, and this is a unconditional waiver by both parties, and negotiations are to continue in circuit court. You'll be done here in district court, and the case will move on to circuit court. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is it your preference today to waive your right to a prelim today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Brodowitz, you were also waiving the people's right to a preliminary examination within 21 days?
Yes,
Actually, a preliminary examination period.
yes, Your Honor.
All right. With that understanding, I'll bind this case over as charged to circuit court. And your time in district court will be done here. Get any future date from your attorney. We used to give them in district court. We don't anymore. So it's usually 2 weeks out. Okay, it's usually 2 Wednesdays out. But get your date from Ms. Samuels, and that will be your date for circuit court. Okay, sir. Anything else for the record in docket 22-03570, Mr. Brodowitz?
Nothing from the people, Your Honor.
All right.
Your Honor, we will just get notice in the mail then of
I-
the circuit court
Yeah,
arraignment.
it's usually the second. It'll be not next Wednesday, but the following Wednesday.
Thank you.
But they'll contact you, and then you can contact your client.
Thank you so much.
Examination has been waived for. And then we'll have you sign the documentation. Once I really mess it up.
This code amendment went to Judge Ward because he did not have a thing. It just depends on my class.
Sure thing.
So if Mr. Askins ends up waiving his current one and they want to bring it to us, it can come to us, but that doesn't usually happen. So they get split.
All right.
It's not a perfect system, but it's what happens right there.
Well, I mean, it's not a surprise that we don't have witnesses appear.
Can you tell?
All right, Ms. Samuel, you're all set. You're all set here in district court, Mr. Fedwa.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
You too.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to. And Miss Samuel, nice to meet you. I haven't seen you before.
Yes, nice to meet you, Judge. Sorry, I just grabbed my bag.
What are you here on, Mr. Abbott? Or are you just hanging out today with us?
No, I just wanted to discuss with him a couple of the matters. from
All right.
last week,
I didn't see your
'cause-
name on the list, so.
No, just because he wasn't here last week, so some stuff was left on just because.
All right. How are you, Mr. Abbott?
Well, thank you. You?
I'm good. I'm good. So should we get Mr. Sart's playing out? Let's see.
So that one, really the offer that we were looking for at this point.
I don't know if Mr. Goodrich is still, he probably wants to talk to Mr. Brodowitz. Mr. Sartz, did you have the opportunity to speak with your client in a breakout room?
We did, Your Honor. Thank you. We should be ready to proceed.
All right. All right. And Mr. Sartz, I have just an indication that Mr. Carter has filed an appearance on Mr. Gaskin's file. Are you privy to that information?
Yes, Your Honor. The Office of the Public Defender has a conflict of interest as it relates to one of Mr. Gaskin's cases. And Mr. Gaskin currently has two cases on the docket one a probable cause conference. The other was scheduled for a preliminary examination tomorrow morning. That's the 1124 FY file. Mr. Carter has generously offered to step in and be our conflict counsel on both of these files, Your Honor. And that's correct. We've sent the substitutions in this morning. It's my understanding that Mr. Carter has filed appearances. I'll defer to Mr. Carter, but I would expect it might make some sense to adjourn both of these matters so Mr. Carter can have enough time to prepare with Mr. Gaskin. I had the opportunity this morning to update Mr. Gaskin on this. And so that's where we're at this morning.
All right. So give me about 5 minutes and we'll put it on the record. Are you, Mr. Gaskin, on both files? That's file. My understanding that's filed 2301124 and 2301227. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right.
We'll try to take care of both this morning. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. All right, let's go on the record in dockets. We have two dockets, dockets 2301227 and 2301124. And the 127 is set for probable cause conference today. And then the 2301124 is set for preliminary examination tomorrow. So attorney's appearances for the record.
Jeff Brodowitz on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
And Mr. Sarts, are you here on those cases? In another. All right. Mr. Sarts might be in another courtroom right now, so, but we do plan on putting those. Mr. Gaskin, stand by and we're gonna place both of your files on the record, okay? All right. Why she's frozen. And ma'am, you are Christy Bardaville?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. This is the time set for a probable cause conference. How are we proceeding today?
Your Honor, we have a couple things to address.
All right.
So I understand that Mr. Milks is only representing Ms. Bardaville on her criminal case and that she is essentially in pro per as the registered agent for the company case. First thing on both of those cases, Mr. Milks has signed a stipulated protective order on the discovery material for Christy Bardaville's case. And I believe he did have a conversation with her for the Barville case, and she has consented to the stipulated protective order on the corporate case as well. And if the court would allow, I can approach with those stipulated protective orders. for the
Okay,
court
I
to sign.
have one stipulated protective order on her case alone. That's this one.
And I just received this morning and finalized the corporation stipulated.
All
procedure
right, so
order.
if
Can I
you want to,
present that?
yeah, I'll handle that. And when we go through that case, I'll already have that paperwork, just to keep them separate for my purpose. Thank you. All right, so this is for the corporate. All right, and Ms. Walker, what else this morning?
Then we also have, a Treasury has filed a motion to release tax documentation, tax records. Mr. Morton is here on that matter and has filed those orders. I don't think that Mr. Milks has any objection in speaking with him about that.
And is that this order, Mr. Morton?
Yes, Your Honor, but I have originals if you prefer.
Oh, great.
I don't think I signed those. I apologize.
Okay, so I've got your signature on that one.
Okay, good.
I just want to make sure I've got the right order.
My secretary is doing a better job than I am.
So I did sign that order. There were, I did sign that order. The nature of it is Mr. Milks can't do his job without some type of information. So I did sign that, assuming that there would be no objection to the order. That is the order, the correct order. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, that's for Mrs. Bardaville. Yeah.
Okay, so that's for Mrs. Bardaville.
Yep, thank you, Your Honor.
And then we'll still have another one on the entity. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, please.
All right, so that's the second one. So I've got the stipulated protective order for regarding confidentiality of discovery material and the order permitting disclosure of information. Anything else, Ms. Walker?
And then just to address, I believe we are in agreement with adjourning the preliminary examination.
All right, so this is in regards to Ms. Bardaville and Mr. Milks. So is it my understanding that you're going to agree to waive your right to a preliminary examination within 21 days and we'll adjourn it to another day?
Yes, Your Honor. We would probably request about a month. If I've learned anything from tax cases with the Attorney General's office, it's never light on the discovery portion of this. So we would request probably about that month or so.
Any objection to about a 30-day adjournment?
No objection. There is a number of documents that we'll provide immediately now that we have these orders in place. I think it's over 1,000 pages of discovery at least.
All right, Mr. Milks, may I inquire your client of their waiver of the 21-day rule?
Yes, and please. Thank you.
Ms. Bardaville, you understand you have the right to a preliminary examination within 21 days.
Yes.
All right, and that preliminary examination is a probable cause. Preliminary examination is a probable cause hearing in which the people of the state of Michigan would have to prove by probable cause evidence that a crime has been committed and the identity of the person who committed that crime. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes.
You of course are represented by Attorney Stephen Milks, and he would be present to cross-examine any charges and contest any charges and cross-examine any witnesses that are brought by the people in regards to that hearing. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You have a right to a preliminary examination within 21 days of your date of arraignment. If you waive your right to a preliminary examination within that 21-day period time, you'll only be waiving your right to a prelim within 21 days. You will not be waiving your right to a prelim in general. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes, I do.
Okay, for discovery purposes, is it your intent today to waive your right to a preliminary examination within 21 days?
Yes.
And it's the Attorney General's also preference to waive their right to a prelim within 21 days?
Yes, we agree.
All right. So with that understanding, the waiver of the 21-day rule has been conformed with, and we'll reset this for.
How about?
And Your Honor, could we do it for set for a PCC first? My client's up from Drafter. It's very long drive from the UP. So if we can do as much as we can over video, as long as there's no objection.
We would agree.
All right, so let's set it for PC. Let's set it for additional PCC and then a prelim.
So let's do the PCC on May 25th
The PCC will be held on May 25th
at 8:30.
at 8:30, and that'll be by Zoom.
And the exam-
Zoom is, if you want to come, that's fine, but for Ms. Bardaville, she can appear by Zoom. And then preliminary examination,
6/8 at 9:30.
June 8th at 1:30, and that'll be live. So Ms. Bardaville, you can attend the May 25th probable cause conference that we've reset, understanding there's discoveries that need to take place. And that'll be at 8:30 on May 25th. That's okay by Zoom. If it goes to prelim from there on June 8th, it's been set for, what time was that? 1:30. Okay. 1:30, and that'll be a live preliminary examination at 1:30. Okay, ma'am?
Yes.
All right. Any questions about either one of those dates? Ms. Walker?
No.
Okay, Mr. Milks?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
What we did was we set the prelim in the afternoon just to give it its own time, just in case. All right, so that's all for the record in 23-01052. And then let's go ahead and do the second file also to make sure all that paperwork. So I'm also going to call docket 23-01051. That is people of the state of Michigan versus Barville Incorporated and doing business as Satisfied Frog. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
AAG Jennifer Walker for the people.
And ma'am, you are representing in pro per the Barville Incorporated doing business as Satisfied Frog, is that correct?
Yes, I am.
All right. Ms. Walker, how are we proceeding today? I just want to make sure I have the correct paperwork. Here.
Sure. So we would ask the court to enter stipulated order, protective order, and also the tax disclosure order.
All right. I have the stipulated protective order regarding confidentiality of discovery material. Is that the correct document?
Yes.
All right. And if you need a better look, I can hand it to my court officer. I'm going to sign it today because this one I don't believe I have signed. Maybe I do.
I just presented the company one to you this morning.
Okay. And then let me sign that one to make sure on the 27th thing. All right, so the stipulated protective order regarding confidentiality of discovery material has been signed. I also have from the Department of Treasury an order permitting disclosure of information according to the MCL. Is that the right document, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And so, and Mr. Morton, I do have your signature on that.
Thank you.
Okay. So, and I've already signed that, assuming that they'd want the order. So I have both documents on that. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And so, Miss, I'll get your name. Ms. Bardaville. Ms. Milks is not on the case. Oh, Mr. Morton, your name and P number for the record.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm Assistant Attorney General Bradley Kirk Morton. My P number is P55471. That's not it.
55459?
Yeah, 55459.
55459.
Thank you.
And Ms. Bardaville, I've signed both orders to that effect. Are we doing the same thing? So this will also be, this will maybe a 21-day rule waiver, and we'll reset it with the other preliminary examination?
You would ask that they follow together.
All right. Ms. Bardaville, is it your intent today to waive your right to a prelim within 21 days and to have this case set with the other preliminary examination?
Yes, I do.
All right. So you understand you have in this file being acting as the representative, you have this file has the right to a preliminary examination within 21 days. That's a preliminary examination is a probable cause hearing in which the people would have to prove by probable cause evidence that a crime has been committed and that the identity of the individual or entity that committed that crime. It's my understanding that you are in pro per on this file, but you would be present to cross-examine or contest any charges brought against you. Is that correct?
Yes.
What I'm saying is in pro per means that you're representing the company in this file. You don't have a lawyer on this file.
No, I do not.
All right. You only have a lawyer in regards to your personal file. You don't have a lawyer in regards to representing the corporation as an entity. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And so is it your intent today to waive your right to a preliminary examination as an entity within that 21-day time period and to reset this case with your personal case?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I find that the waiver of the 21-day rule to be knowing, voluntarily, and accurately made. Ms. Walker and Mr. Morton, you also waive your right to a prelim within 21 days?
Correct, yes.
All right. And we will reset this prelim for the same date.
It's 5:25 at 8:30 for PCC.
So I mean, May 25th at 8:30 for the probable cause conference.
And the exam to follow on June 8th.
And the exam will be June 8th at 1:30. The probable cause conference can be attended, Ms. Barterville, by Zoom. The preliminary examination at this time will have to be live, okay, ma'am?
Yes.
All right. Anything else for the record in docket 23-01051, Ms. Walker or Mr. Morton? All
Your
right.
Honor, I'll just say that we will send an extra copy of the discovery to Ms. Barterville, to her address that she has put on the record.
All right, just
So
in
she has her own
case.
copy, just in
Okay.
case.
All right. Ms. Barterville, anything else? Did you want that address placed on the record or?
I have it from viewing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ms. Barterville, anything else for the record on the corporate entity case, docket 23-01051?
No.
All right, so so keep in contact on both cases. I know you're not represented by Mr. Milks on this case. He's representing you on the personal case. But May 25th at 8:30 is your probable cause conference. All right, ma'am?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. That's all on the record, 23-01051. Thank you for your appearance today, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, we're all set.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Your Honor, did you think when you went to law school that you'd have to become a manager of technology like?
Just got brought over.
Not only when I went to law school, I also taught for 15 years in a law school.
Did you really?
Yeah, and I never thought that Zoom management would be a part of it, but it is now.
For what it's worth, neither did I.
You know, by chance, know what Brent Morton do?
Yeah, he's,
I've heard.
but I won't claim.
Good, I was gonna say, hold that against you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, you ran into in Eaton County or?
Oh, yeah, we
Or where
were
is-
together a lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
Mr.
okay,
to
yeah.
Mr. Sir.
He's
He's over your office now, right?
Yeah.
What's that?
Great.
He's
So we
mom's
can do
favorite.
the
Gaston?
Oh, yeah,
one.
that sounds about
Mr.
right.
Goodrich is currently, I think, on the record over next door in Judge Simmons, and I think Mr. Hess is still in Judge Ward.
All right, Mr. Sarts, are you ready to proceed on Mr. Gaskin?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So we're on the record there's two dockets here. There's docket 23-01227, which was the time set for a probable cause conference. And then we also have a preliminary examination set 23-01124 that was set for preliminary examination tomorrow. And then I do have a conflict counsel appearance that has been submitted on both files by Mr. Carter. That was submitted today. So, but I do recognize that's conflict counsel. So for our purposes today, will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Jeff Brodowitz on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jacob Sarts, the fourth Assistant Public Defender, former counsel for Mr. Gaskin, appearing by Zoom this morning.
And sir, you are Duval Gaskin?
Yes, sir.
All right, this is the time set on 23-01227 for probable cause conference. And then at the same time, it's my understanding we'll be addressing some of the concerns on 23-01124. Mr. Brodowitz, how are we proceeding today?
Yes, Your Honor, at this time, I believe, based on the fact that the Public Defender's Office has to recuse themselves and get conflict counsel, I believe the court is aware there is a request for an adjournment. The people have no objection to the adjournment in order for conflict counsel to get caught up to speed on these files.
All right. And Mr. Sarks, anything you want to place on the record or any response?
Thank you, Your Honor. Certainly, I will not claim to speak directly on behalf of Mr. Carter. Mr. Gaskin may have his own views, but respectfully, I think there is an argument for a good cause adjournment here on both files. One of the files, 1124 FY, is scheduled for a preliminary examination tomorrow. Certainly, I would think that Mr. Carter would need additional time to prepare for that. Also, the 1127 FY file, that's quite a complicated case. And I would expect Mr. Carter would certainly need some additional time to prepare for that and talk to Mr. Gaskin. Of course, I would defer to him if he had any specific thoughts on the issues. But I will note, Your Honor, that the Public Defender's Office does have a conflict of interest here, which is why we went and secured a conflict counsel services on behalf of Mr. Gaskin. I have had the opportunity to inform Mr. Gaskin of these concerns. So that's where we're at this morning. Thank you.
All right, thank you. May I inquire, well, Mr. Gaskin, the request is by the people and certainly on behalf of recognize the interest in adjourning this matter. Mr. Carter is now conflict counsel. He's filed an appearance and he's filed a substitution of counsel. He would need some time to prepare and get discovery and all those matters. And I'm certainly believe that that would be a good cause for him to zealously advocate for you to adjourn both matters to the same date and ask for an adjournment on both matters. So I'll first start with the probable cause conference of 23-01227. On that file, since you have a new attorney who needs to receive all the discovery, do you understand that the court would find that as good cause to adjourn? And you would not be waiving any rights today. We would just be adjourning that so your attorney would have some time for preparation. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
All right. So I find that there's good cause to adjourn the probable cause conference today and the prelim 23-012 associated with 23-01227. And so we'll get a new date without waiving any timelines. So the fastest date we have.
May 25th at 8:30.
So it'll be May 25th at 8:30 for that preliminary examination. And then we have on docket 23-01124, we have the same parties. So the same parties, Mr. Brodowitz and Mr. Sartz. This was set for prelim tomorrow. I certainly find with a new attorney, there's good cause to adjourn this to that same date. So I would indicate that I find good cause to adjourn for conflict counsel. And we'll reset that for the same date of May 25th at 8:30. So you've already had your probable cause conference on that file, correct?
Correct.
All right. But since you have the same lawyer on each file, please keep in contact with the assistant prosecutor's office. You know that, so does Mr. Carter. And we will set both files for May 25th at 8:30. Okay, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else for the record? Docket 23-01227 or 23-01124, Mr. Brodowitz?
Nothing from the.
Anything, Mr. Sarge, do you have any comment on that? I know you're kind of caught in between counsel here with new conflict counsel, but both files have a substitution of counsel, and I was just given a appearance on today's case on 227, just for the record. Anything else, Mr. Sartz?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, you should be all set, Mr. Gaskin. Mr. Carter, your attorney will be in contact with you, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Hall, I don't know if Mr. Brown is here today.
Judge, I've tried contacting him. I have, my office has had contact with him several times since getting on this case. We're just leaving the exam on at this point, if the court would be inclined to not issue a bench warrant for him.
All right, well, let's see what Mr. Brodowitz has to say. This is, so Mr. Brodowitz this is on Tyrese Brown. So we're on the record in docket 23-01210. That's people of the state of Michigan versus Tyrese Caprice Brown. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Jeff Brodowitz on behalf of the people.
Morning, Your Honor. Benjamin Hall, appearing on behalf of Mr. Brown.
This is the time set for a probable cause conference, and this was scheduled for 8:30. It is now 9:49. And it would appear that the defendants failed to appear. Mr. Brown's failed to appear. I don't have a previous failed to appear at the probable cause conference. Looks like he was present at his arraignment. Mr. Brodowitz, how would you like to proceed today?
Yes, Your Honor, as you stated, today's the date and time set for probable cause conference. The defendant has failed to appear. So at this time, the people would ask that a bench warrant be issued and bond be forfeited.
Mr. Hall, I'm assuming you'd like to be heard on this. This is a co-defendant case, is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor. And
all right,
whatever it's worth, Judge, I was just recently hired onto this case or contacted about this case. I do not have all the discovery. I anticipate receiving it prior to the exam. Sure, the assistant prosecutor can assist in that, namely the video discovery. This is set for an exam. There's been no offer. At this point, we're not interested in offer. We will be running this exam. I would request that the court hold any bench warrant until after we appear for the exam and determine, or at such time if Mr. Brown does not appear.
All right, response to the request to hold the bench warrant till after the prelim?
At this point, Your Honor, while I understand that Mr. Hall may be fairly new to this case, as I was unaware that he had been either appointed or retained by Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown himself did have notice of today's date and has still failed to appear. So with that being the case, the people would still ask that a bench warrant be issued and any bond be forfeited.
Due to the nature of the crimes, which are all gun charges, I think the court's placed in a position that that the defendant failed to appear. A bench warrant and bond forfeiture is issued. And most of that is based on the type of offenses we're dealing with. The defendant was arraigned on CCW, felon in possession, and an habitual fourth. So the bench warrant and bond forfeiture is issued. And then we'll be seeking whatever status that is, but I don't think with a co-defendant case I can hold a bench warrant till after the prelim, since there's some determining factor that there's another co-defendant out there. Anything else on the record docket 23-01210, Mr. Brodowitz?
Nothing from the people, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Hall?
No, Judge, thank you.
All right, it was good to see you, Mr. Hall.
You too,
That's
Judge.
all for the record in that file.
Thank you.
Do you still have?
Yeah. Yeah.
I figured that's why I didn't send you an email yesterday.
Right.
'cause
So we're on the record in docket 23-01212. That's people of the state of Michigan versus Maurice Anthony Bell III. Will the parties please introduce themselves to the record?
Jeff Brodowitz on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Edward Hess on behalf of Mr. Bell. Mr. Bell has appeared this morning by Zoom.
And sir, you are Maurice Anthony Bell III?
Yes, sir.
All right, this is the time set for a probable cause conference. Mr. Brodowitz, how are we proceeding today?
Yes, Your Honor, at this time, the people have not made an offer, so we would ask that this matter be left on for preliminary exam.
All right. And that's your understanding, Mr. Hess?
Yes, I was just informed that there is no offer being made at this time. At this time, we'll simply plan to appear next week for the preliminary examination.
All right, and this has been set for preliminary examination on May 4th, 2023 at 8:30. All right, so I'm leaving this preliminary examination on for May 4th, 2023 at 8:30. You have that day, Mr. Brodowitz?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hess?
I do.
All right, Mr. Bell, we'll see you May 4th, 2023 at 8:30. That'll be live in person, okay, sir?
Okay, sir.
All right. Anything else for the record, docket 23-01212, Mr. Brodowitz?
Nothing from the people. Your
Mr.
Honor.
Hess?
Nothing further. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Bell, you're free to leave the Zoom courtroom. Thank you for your appearance today.
Okay, thank you.
I think we're just waiting on Mr. Goodrich.
It's not Mr. Goodrich.
He's in a breakout.
Oh, he's still, yeah,
Yes, he's on Sims,
Austin. And Harris.
Yes.
Sims is left on.
Sims is left on.
Yes.
Austin.
I believe I know how the other ones are.
All right, I don't have to worry about that because I don't have Sims.
No, you don't.
They never put Bobby Harris on Polygon,
Huh?
so they never put Bobby
I
Harris. on
guess they're
Polygon.
waiting. I just got an email from Polycom. I just listened to my answer.
Mr. Brown, John Savage, how about unlawful trade?
Okay.
It seems less.
Brown is only 10% on.
Okay.
It's pretty.
That's
They
fine.
both
If it's, as long as it's a one, yeah, we can do a lawful
They
trade.
posted shirt
Okay.
events.
But setting a spring. Why do you ever receive that one? Come on. I had to try. Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
You
that was
never
it.
get to
Yeah,
see
they're
that
pretty
one.
together together.
I'm sorry.
They're actually together and pretty together.
She was here last week. I haven't spoken to her yet this week. But I would assume she's gonna be here. But I have to speak with her. I have to call her today and speak. with her.
Well, he's got a new
But yeah,
bond.
she was here last week as well, so.
Just let me know. Try to call him later. And see what he wants to do.
Okay, you have your offer. on that?
Since the 10,000, 10% didn't seem.
I've had Harrison's up here on post 1 now. Oh, no, sorry, different Harris. Okay, so Harris is downstairs on post 3. I also some down in the post 3 terminal. Oh, I, yeah, often. Okay, all that. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think Thompson updated it yesterday. Yeah, it's different. Okay, cool, that's it. Hello?
Did you need to hear from us?
No, is this Judge Flores's courtroom and everything?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. Are you guys trying to get Harris Bobby seen?
We will need to see.
Yeah, we'll need to see Mr. Harris. Yes. But
Okay, he's on post 3. So if y'all dial and he's been waiting, so if you all are trying to see him now, you would dial into the post 3 video room. I have the number if you need it.
I don't think we've ever dialed into a post before.
Oh, actually, yeah, I'll have him dial into you then. Yep, sorry, my bad. Yeah,
All right.
opposite. I'll have him dial into you.
We do it, we just don't know how. So
No, yeah, you're good. I totally forgot. It's some judges do, some judges don't. I'll tell them to dial into you, and we should be able to make it happen. But yeah,
all right,
I believe
sounds
you're done
good.
on my post for seeing people. Okay, cool. Just give me 1 minute. It's on my screen, but because I just had some seen but Flores, so y'all dial in. So get the remote. Yeah, she did the remote. Okay, cool.
All right. So we're on the record in dockets 23-00607 and 23-01266. That's people of the state of Michigan versus Daniel Austin. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Jeff Broadus on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
And Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office, here to represent Mr. Austin.
And sir, you are Daniel Austin?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. This is the time set for a probable cause conference on both files. Mr. Brodowitz, how are we proceeding today?
Yes, Your Honor, at this time, people have made an offer, and that would be for essentially this, the defendant, Mr. Austin, to plead to would be to waive the exams, get them sent up to circuit court where they would be merged into one file, plead to one of the 3 counts of possession and an attempted R&O. And then at that point, further negotiations could continue up in circuit court.
All right, so there have been some negotiations concerning an offer. One of the considerations is to waive the preliminary examination and continue negotiations in circuit court. Is that correct?
Yes, Your
Honor. All right. Mr. Goodrich, is that your understanding?
Yes, Your Honor, we just, as part of the waiver, the plea offer will be available once we reach the circuit court. Yeah, I would just state that they will remain separate files, but we will come up with some type of a global resolution to deal with both of them.
All right, did you have as a part, did you want to place on the record anything concerning either one of the files? I know I didn't see which one, Mr. Brodowitz, but there's a plea to 1 count, dismiss 2 counts, but negotiations are to continue.
Yes.
Okay, and
depending on-
is that on file 23-01266, which is the 3-count file?
It would be on, it's an offer basically for a global resolution on both
Okay.
files, Your Honor.
Okay,
I did have one other thing I'd like to place on the record, briefly in file, I believe, as you said, it's 123-01222-1266. And that's just that the people would seek to dismiss, count 1 in that, it was mischarged. And we would just add a count 4 of possession of analogs or schedule 2345, which is PAC code.
okay, hold on just a second. So it's my understanding that on file 23-01266, you're moving the court to amend the information.
Yes.
And dismiss count 1.
Mhm.
Count 1. And then you'll be moving to add a count 4 of possession of an analog.
Mhm.
And what's the PAC code now?
It'd be 333.74032BA, I believe, Your Honor.
All right.
And the specific analog we would be looking at would be it'd be 1 parents A, parents 1 for amphetamines.
And what's the penalty and the amount?
What's that?
That's a felony.
I believe that is a 2-year and or $2,000, Your Honor.
All right. So I have noted that since that, and you will file an amended information in circuit court to
That is
that
correct,
effect.
Your Honor.
Okay. So the amended information you read, just for the record, and Mr. Goodrich, your understanding that people are moving to dismiss count 1, add an amended count 4 under 333.74032, parents B, parents A, possession of an analog, it's a 2-year felony and or $2,000. You're put on notice that people intend to do that.
Yes, Your Honor, I just wanted to make it clear to my client that essentially they're dismissing a 4-year felony at this point and replacing it with a 2-year felony for possession of an analog instead of a narcotic.
And I was just like, to say, this does not affect the offer at all.
Right.
The offer is still.
So,
the same.
Mr. Austin, do you understand that they've dismissed a count 1, a 4-year felony, and they've added a count 4, which is a 2-year felony. But for our purposes, the negotiations are still to be considered, and in order to globally resolve this in circuit court.
Yes, I understand.
Okay.
So
Is it your intent today? So, Mr. Goodrich, may I inquire your client of his waiver of his preliminary examinations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So this is in regards to docket 23-00607 and 23-01266. Mr. Austin, you understand you have a right to a preliminary examination within 21 days of your date of arraignment on both of these files. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
Okay. And a preliminary examination, which would be held on both of these files, is a time in which the people of the state of Michigan would have to prove by probable cause evidence of that a crime has been committed and the identity of the person who committed that crime. So in one of these files, they'd have to prove the 3 counts that have indicated in 23-01266, and in 23-00607, they'd have to prove a count 1 and an habitual third offense. You understand that they'd have to prove that by probable cause evidence at the preliminary examination.
Yes. And,
All right,
I got a question.
go ahead.
So, it was one of them is a felony and one of them is a misdemeanor,
The,
For the plea offer.
Yes.
yeah, for the plea offer, that's correct, but the negotiations are continuing as you move forward into circuit court.
right? Okay.
All right, so right now, we're just making sure you understand that you have a right to a preliminary examination and that the nature of the preliminary examination. And of course, Mr. Goodrich would be here to cross-examine any witnesses and contest any charges brought against you by the people of the state of Michigan at either one of these preliminary examinations. Do you understand that?
Yes.
An offer's been made. It's my understanding it is your intent to waive your right to a preliminary examination on docket 23-00607 and to waive your right to a preliminary examination on 23-01266. Have these cases continue to circuit court where the negotiations will continue. Is that your intent today, to waive your right to preliminary examination on both files?
Yes.
Okay. I find the waiver of the preliminary examination, right to preliminary examination, to be knowing, voluntarily, and accurately made. Mr. Brodowitz, you also waive your right to preliminary examination?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And both these cases will be bound over as charged with the understanding there's an offer made and negotiations are to continue. So your next date, Mr. Austin, you'll get from Mr. Goodrich, your public defender, and he'll get that in circuit court. Your time in district court is now finished. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right. Prosecutor also waives her right. This is bound over as charged.
So this don't have anything to do with next week.
Oh, on this one, it'll be bound over as amended. Yeah, bound over as amended, because we didn't, it's been amended, and they will file an amended complaint to that effect. I'll give that to both for Mr. Goodrich to sign. Anything else on the record concerning either one of those files, 23-00607 or 23-01266, Mr. Brodowitz?
Nothing from the people, Your Honor.
Mr. Goodrich?
Not on those files, Your Honor. I just would like to state that Mr. Austin will be back in front of you next Tuesday for a bond issue on another file.
All right. All right.
Done on these files.
All right, thank you. So we'll sign that paperwork, and Mr. Austin, you'll get your next date on these two files from Mr. Goodrich in circuit court, okay?
Okay.
All right. For the record, counsel signing the paperwork. Mr. Austin, you're all set. Thank you for your appearance today.
All right, thank you. So I can go back to my cell?
Yes, you're all set, sir.
All right.
Be the change you want to see in the world. You know what I mean? I don't know why, because I probably will know the front goals and the stuff. You like the micro, but then it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't micromanage, it doesn't run anything. But I don't know, tell people, I want to be out there. Modifier, you know, out there. But any question I take, you can. When you're working close, yeah, I was easy. You know what I mean? You know, a lot of people that are working. But like, you know, and the other team, so that's not really, like, at least hockey, every study, you for a while, for a while, for a while. I think, obviously, decision making, conversations like that, I don't know how I like, first of all, you would never recover. Yeah, very well. I feel and it could be doing that. But I just found it terrible, and also you probably night for a while. Because all, you know, all work days. They start. The next goal would be. Really, you don't want to go out and work. Keep on. It doesn't really be a bad day. First of all, around. Yeah. But I feel like more, it's going to be more forward, where else, you know, can't kind of get that up. No, it should be in a way, but I don't ever. Right? you dial in the whole like 162.255, you get all the hashtags, all the things. So just like bring it a while, back and watch. I know they're having issues, I think, Joel Mitchell was down there yesterday, wasn't he? Doesn't he know, remember they had an issue yesterday about Polycom machine working or not working, or some issues with it? Anything not receiving it now, I think it's you for that, but yeah, we'll see it later, but I think you're doing fine. Oh, yeah, well, yeah, she has 3 rooms, so yeah, take over receiving, or like that, for this. I don't know, those, that you're close to stuff that, they have 3 rooms, now, keep it everyone happy. Yeah. And I think there's, well, no, I think the trouble yesterday was going to dial in, it's about, changing up candidate. Yeah. That's what I'm, that's the figure, I don't think. Monday, when you come in, like, I'll remember, they'll know, everyone change, and it's like. They're not gonna work. You know what I mean? And also, better, everyone can go for Monday, better dial, you know what I mean? Like, it's good. You don't set up, man.
Mr. Harris, can you hear us?
Mr. Harris, okay. He's,
That's something with jail.
yeah, there's no sound on his end, or we're not hearing him.
One moment, please.
I am going to be requesting a forensics petition on this case. I don't have it with me unfortunately yet, but
Do you not read my notes?
is your note to do that?
You're right. You're good.
Mr. Harris, because you're being referred to the forensic center, we're not going to have a court hearing today. I'm just going to bring in the paper to send to the court. So your hearing is done today. You're not going to go in front of the judge, okay?
Under the judge, we're not supposed to be getting out today.
You were not going to be getting out today. Nobody ever
Why
told you that.
am I? Why? What is going on?
You're being referred to the forensic center for an evaluation.
What is that for?
Make sure that you're competent for the case.
How am I competent?
Okay, sir, we're in the courtroom, so we can't discuss this any further at this time, okay?
How am I competent? What is wrong? What is wrong with me? Nothing is wrong with me. Nothing is wrong with me. How am I competent?
Okay.
Yes, I just asked a question. Can you answer it for me, sir? How am I competent?
That's all I'm saying for today. Thank you.
How am I competent? You didn't give me no type of answer. Can I please get an answer? Hello? Hello? How am I competent?
Mr. Harris, one moment. Your attorney will join you in a private room. Just one moment, please.
What is going on here? I don't know what is going on here.
Mr. Harris, your attorney is logging into a Zoom, and I'm gonna put you in a private room where you can speak with your attorney outside of the courtroom, since we can all hear you and it's recorded in here. So just one moment, please.
You said that, ma'am. Yeah, I heard that. You just said
Okay.
that.
Okay, then please quit talking just a moment.
Times to me now, ma'am.
So wait till they.
Heard that, sir. You could get out now. Yeah, so I can talk to you. I don't.
Back on the record in docket 23-00983. This is a continuation of a preliminary examination previously started. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Thank you. Good afternoon, Your Honor. Erin Housefield on behalf of the people.
And good afternoon, Your Honor. Stephen Milks, I have Mr. Coward, who is present and seated to my right.
And sir, you are Avis Coward?
It's cold, yes, sir.
Forward, thank you. This is the time set for preliminary examination continuance. It's my understanding the people have called 5 witnesses and admitted 10 exhibits. Is that correct?
10 as to the exhibits, Your Honor. 1, 2, 3, 4, and yes, 5 as to witnesses, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Are the people ready to continue the preliminary examination?
The people are, Your Honor.
All right, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. The people would call to the stand Officer Donovan Moore.
Or you can stand right up here. Please state your name and spell your first name and last name for the record.
My name is Officer Donovan Moore, first name Donovan, last name Moore.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
I do.
Have a seat here and please project for recording purposes. Ms. Housefield, when you're ready.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon.
What is your occupation, sir?
I'm a police officer for Lansing,
And how long have you been with the Lansing Police Department?
4 years now.
Were you on duty on March 22nd, 2023?
Yes,
And what shift do you work, sir?
I work nights.
And what is the time, start to end of that shift?
So we're 8:30 PM to 6:30 AM.
Fair to say, sir, then that your shift carried over into March 23rd of 2023.
Yes,
And during that shift, were you part of a search warrant execution at 524 North Chestnut?
Your Honor, I'm sorry, real quick, and I apologize. Were we still streaming this? I remember last time we turned off streaming at the prosecutor's, pardon me, at the prosecutor's request. I don't
We
know.
are now, but I'm willing to entertain any concerns about streaming. I just left it on from this morning, so.
Well, given that this is a continuation, Your Honor, and your ruling in the first one was not to stream, I think that just part and parcel in the ruling that's already been made, it would
I agree.
I wouldn't have